Hi everyone, this is AOFit Mama here. Today I'm going to share with you 5 tips to live a non-toxic life. So these are really important to me because I do have 2 children and I also have a autoimmune disease. So what I've tried to do within the last, since 2011, however long that is really improve our life with the quality of food and just what we're exposing ourselves to. So these are things that I've researched and have so much information on in regards to just taking care of yourself and just the environment that you live in. So the first tip that I have is what you put on your skin. That is absolutely essential. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, so whatever you put on immediately just gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So if you're putting on lotions, if you're putting on sunscreen, things that have all of these different toxic chemicals inside of them, they're getting immediately absorbed into your skin or into your bloodstream. So there's actually an app, it's called Think Dirty. And yes, it sounds weird, but it's a really helpful app that I've used. If you're going shopping and there's, lotions or anything really that you put on your body, if you scan that with the app, Think Dirty, they'll tell you just on a scale of, I believe it's like 1 to 10 or something, just how harmful it is for your body. And they'll just give you details with what is in it that actually causes harm to your body. So I would highly recommend that if you're kind of clueless with what are the do's and don'ts and what you should use. I love using Dr. Bronner's. I feel like you can't go wrong with that. I use that for a body wash and you can use it. It has 16 different uses for it, so it's really useful for all kinds of stuff. So I would highly recommend that. And also the other thing that you want to consider is makeup. Whatever I'm putting on my face, now compared to back in the day, I'm just so more cautious with what is inside of mascara, blush, all these different things I'm using, because there are so many toxic chemicals. It's ridiculous. There's, the FDA doesn't really regulate these things, so you're just putting stuff on your skin that can be just really dangerous for you. So that is tip number 1. Number 2 is indoor plants. These have been so amazing, and there's a lot of research behind it with just the quality of air that is in your home versus outside. It's more toxic inside. Just think about, what's the fumes that are coming off of your furniture, the walls, everything. So when you're just living and breathing that all day long, then that can be really dangerous for your health. So if you have indoor plants, and there's specific kinds, it's not just any indoor plant, they purify the air for you. So that's actually pretty amazing. And I will put a link of the different ones that you can choose. And, also look at it with caution, because there are some that you want to be very careful if you have children, because if they consume this, it can be really toxic to them as well. So you want to make sure that you're putting it somewhere where they can't reach it. I just kind of have like hanging indoor plants, and it's amazing because it just, detoxifies the air, just purifies the air while we're going about our day. So that's tip number 2 that I have. And tip number 3 is Wi-Fi. A lot of people do not realize how dangerous Wi-Fi can be. And just radiation that comes from it. So, and if you look on your phone with, if you buy a phone and you look at the warning label on it, it tells you not to put it close to your body. And all of us don't, everyone does it. So we all put everything close to our body, or our phones close to our body, and we just don't think twice about it, or Bluetooth headphones, all these kind of things. So it's really important to, just be careful with how often you're doing this. And there's just precautions that you can take. For example, I actually purchased a Safe Sleeve, it's like an outer case that you can use for your phone, like when you're on it. And I'll put a link for that below. But basically when I'm on the phone with people, it blocks the radiation. So I can put it up to my ear, but it has a covering on it, so I'm protecting myself. Also at night, I turn my phone on airplane mode so that I'm not, the radiation is not affecting me, because I do keep my phone kind of near us, near my husband and I, and we both put our phones on airplane mode. So that just eliminates, the radiation as well. And you just want to be careful with just never carrying it on your body. It's so, so important. There's, women that put it right on their boob when they're working out, and on your pants when you're working out too. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's really important to really consider these things. And again, there's just research out there, and there's not that much research out there too on the long-term effects of radiation and just phone use. So just be careful with that. The other non-toxic tip that I have is the food that you're eating. I mean, like Hippocrates said, food is medicine, and if you're consuming the right food, it's going to benefit you long term, and you're going to really feel the difference of it. If you're eating highly processed foods, things that are not natural, and I prefer organic, but a lot of times it can be expensive. So just consuming more vegetables and more fruit and more wholesome foods, organic meats. You really want to take care of your body by the quality of food that you are eating. So that is definitely important. And if you're constantly feeding yourself just junk, you're gonna feel like junk. So I would definitely highly recommend looking into just high quality foods, going to your local farmer's market, experimenting with things. And on my blog, I do have some recipes, and I talk about, the importance of eating good quality food. So feel free to take a look at, the different things that I have there. I'll have the link also below. So that's really important too. And, again, easier said than done if you've never really made that big change. But baby steps, it's just baby steps. So that's really important as well. One other really important one that I feel like a lot of people just overlook a lot is the products you use to clean your home. This is something I never really thought about. Like I was, thinking about what I was putting on my skin and this and the air and all this, but I didn't consider what type of chemicals I'm using to clean our home. And I've also looked into this quite a bit, and the way I kind of transitioned is I started using vinegar, and yes, it has a potent smell, but it doesn't stay around forever. I use vinegar, I use water, but and I'll use a very, very small amount of bleach, just so I can have that effect of just knowing that I'm using a tiny amount of something to clean chicken off my counter or whatever. So I would highly recommend looking into just those natural cleaners too, like oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name right now, but I think it's Miss Meyer's. So cleaners like that, or just all natural ones. There's so many different ones that you can use, and I believe Dr. Bronner's has a brand too. So just considering just more natural options and things that if your kid consumes, is not going to cause them to, die pretty much, is really important. But anyways, those fumes that you have all in the air all the time, if you're spraying with these things and you're breathing it in, and you're cleaning your toilet with stuff and you're breathing that in, there's just, your body can only handle so much. So I would highly recommend just looking for more natural cleaning products for your home. But these are the 5 tips that I have. I hope that these are very helpful. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, guys.